we go back over to her mom, and her mom couldn't stop thanking us. And she said, that is the first time I think she's actually seen herself for herself since the accident. You know, she's been trapped in this body ever since, and she thinks that's the first time that she actually was able to see herself and appreciate herself and accept herself for what happened.
What is one of or a couple of the stories that come to mind when you think of how coolest stories, or when you think about how horses have changed lives out here?
Yeah, so one story, I have been a part of Joy Ranch since I was about 8 or 10 years old. So I've seen and witnessed so many, life-changing experiences. And one of those stories that I've always held on to was there was a young girl that came out. Her mom came out with her, and she was coming for a camp. I think it was a 3-day camp. And she was coming out, and her mom came, and her mom was just beside herself of, I'm changing my mind. This isn't a good idea. She's never going to be able to do this. She won't be able to stay. She's going to lash out. She'll hurt somebody. What had happened to this little girl, there was a self-sustaining injury that she had experienced. And through that, she ended up with a brain injury that put her back, I think, 10 years. I think she was a 17-year-old. And she basically, what they were saying was she is a 7-year-old living in a 17-year-old's body. And she hadn't said a word to anyone since her accident. Hadn't spoken, hadn't done nothing. They kept her in a wheelchair half the time so that she wouldn't hurt herself or others. She could fully walk, she could move, but it was that she wouldn't hurt herself because she was constantly aggravated and anxious and everything, and she would try to run away any chance she got. And we witnessed that right when she got here. Any chance anybody looked away or anything, she was trying to slip out of that wheelchair and bolt. So we said, my mom and I were working with her, and we just said to her mom, why don't you stick around for the day? I think you'll be surprised what this place can do. And if you are still thinking that way, you're more than welcome to, take her home, but we want you to give it a chance. So she did, and things were going okay. It was rough, but we got down to the horses, and that's when she had put her foot down, and she said, absolutely not. There is no way you're getting my daughter on a horse without her trying to hurt this horse or cause an accident. And we talked the mom into giving us a chance. It took a lot of convincing, but we talked her into it. And it was a struggle to get her on to the horse, but once we got her on the horse, we took 2 steps with the horse. And all of a sudden her body, you could just see it slowly start to relax. Her muscles relaxed, her hands relaxed. They weren't clenched into fists anymore. And so we kept going. We took a couple more steps. And then we got to a mirror. We have mirrors surrounding the entire arena. And we got into in front of the mirror. And all of a sudden her whole body just started kind of spazzing out a little bit, and we got nervous. And then she took one big deep breath, and she kind of just sat there for a second, and she just started to cry. And we didn't know what was quite going on, and all of a sudden she points at the mirror and she just starts saying me. And she says, me, 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 and she was saying it over and over and over again. And her mom is standing on the ramp, and I remember seeing her just bawl her eyes out. And so we kept going for a little bit longer, but every mirror we'd stop at and she'd point, and she just would start bawling again and saying me. And by the 3rd mirror, she was giggling and she was saying me. So it was no longer crying, it was giggling, and she was seeing some joy in her eyes. And we go back over to her mom, and her mom couldn't stop thanking us. And she said, that is the first time I think she's actually seen herself for herself since the accident. She's been trapped in this body ever since, and she thinks that's the first time that she actually was able to see herself and appreciate herself and accept herself for what happened. And so that was a really, really life-changing, for that family, for us to witness. It was just, It just shows, what the horses can do for them in that quiet manner. So that one was just, I'll always hold that one with me no matter where I go. I just couldn't, I'll never be able to forget that one.